the first Yozakura family head is sticking around for at least a good chunk of the chapter, more than I anticipated. I figured it was going to be the end of last chapter and then he was going to wake up or something, but we got a good chunk of content inside of that dream state, and on top of that we got some story points, pushed some plot, moved along, and information on how things are going to be moving in the future was pretty much given, as well as the next arc. We're getting ready for that freaking promotion setup for Taiyo, which is going to be pretty cool. But he's talking to the first head, Tsubomi Yozakura, and she's explaining there's like two different versions of her. It's because like he's pretty much seeing a version of her inside of his head from like having the Yozakura blood in him, as well as when Kawashita like messed with him on the island, put all the information in his head. But there's the original older version of her, and then there's the current version of her. And I guess the current version is the evil one. The current version is the bad guy version of her that is singular as a villain. I was trying to figure out which one they were really referring to, which one's the one that he has, which one's the good version or which one's the bad one. But it looks at the current her, so which means at some point the older version went through some form of change, some form of mind altering experience that made her way more negative, way more wanting to, I guess in a way, sort of fix the world up a little bit, but still, clearly she doesn't have her head in the right space for everything. But the only option for Taiyo right now of getting more information out of the current version of Tsubomi is to go interrogate him, but he's under surveillance 24/7. The only way to get an alone talk with him essentially is to have a silver rank or up. And Taiyo doesn't want to, he's not sharing any of this information yet, but it means that he has to rank himself up from bronze to silver for his hero card. So it's going to be cool seeing just the general display, him versus people his level during, whatever up-and-coming arc it is. I guess it would depend on the length, but some form of, not like a tournament, but a competition, I would assume. There's probably going to be some formal competition points for him to compete with another character who's also trying to get promoted, I would guess. But the book actually being in the chapter, I was really happy about the whole book of Tsubomi and the Yozakura family history and whatnot, because I hadn't forgotten about the book, because when I saw it I immediately remembered oh yeah, this is the book that, well, I guess that's not really forgetting, because it's not like it slipped my mind entirely. It was more oh yeah, cool, this thing. But I was happy that it came up, because it's just one of those things that's clearly very plot important when you first get to it. And I remember when I saw it, I was like, alright, I got to bookmark that in my head, because I know that's going to come back and have some value later on. And luckily it was a little bit later than I would have guessed, because now this was 30, 40 chapters ago or something. I think so, around 30 chapters, 20 chapters maybe, of whenever the book was first introduced. Well, rather than when I started reading it, I think so. It had to be at least a couple months ago, some point earlier this year, that when I saw it, I was like, okay, this book has to be valuable. I don't remember if it was when the chapter came out that I saw it, or if it was during when I initially did my first full read through the series. But they're going to be going after Kawashita. We have information, obviously, Taiyo is going to have to rank up. I feel like Taiyo is going to do fine. My guess is Taiyo will have trouble with very specific things, because he's got an enhanced body. Not just, we know now it's not just for defense. His offense is highly enhanced with it, as well as he's clearly got some skill and some really strong technique. So I doubt that we're gonna run into characters at this exam that would make him look like nothing. They would just make him look kind of just some run-of-the-mill dude. But there's also stuff when he goes to mess with the book, because Tsubomi tells him essentially pretty much how to open it, and saying how it's oh, I like that the metal that she told me, it's oh, the metal that makes up the lock is the same as the rings, and it connects with your heartbeat, your blood type, your voice. So it, not blood type, but just very specific things about you that make it so it's okay, you have to it responds to blood, where says body temperature, heartbeat, volume of the material in you that makes up the power summon, or however it's pronounced. But he gets in the book and starts reading it, and there has to be something really important within their the book that's going to be coded, I'm guessing, that will reveal really important lore and story aspects. And then all of the silver rank people are just going to talk to him, telling him about the exam that's coming up, but also trying to get information out of him. They can tell he's hiding something maybe, and it's going to be really hard for him to keep it a secret from all of them, because it's one of those ones where I feel it's it's fair that you would keep it, but it's like you can't keep it forever. You just have to, like, you have to understand at some point people are gonna want to know, like, what's up, like, why are you so concerned about this? But the exam, I guess, like, how it's gonna work, it's not harder than the gold rank one. It's the proctors, like, anyone that is gold ranked is just gonna make it way more difficult. Like, for bronze to silver, seems like it's mostly just your ability to improvise, maybe, and think on your feet, and where it's like way less prepared, I guess, because you have no idea what one of these guys is going to bring in. It's not like, oh yeah, we're gonna have the one obstacle course and like whatever same tests we use on all guys. Like, these guys are apparently making up their own entry exams, like setup style and like test for this setup, which is actually really cool, because I'm guessing it's not just going to be the main people in the house. I'm guessing we're going to get to other characters as well, maybe some new ones that are going to be in this exam, and that they have to get past whatever tests and trials they put forward. But it's a good chapter. It's really solid. It's the pages that were way more kind of like fun, kind of just like them kind of messing with him, and him guess having like the mental recap kind of moments where it's like, I remember what happened, but I don't really know entirely how to tell them and whatnot. Those ran by a little bit. They were nice, but they were a little bit slow. But not in a negative way. I think it just kind of like built the calmness of the mood before it got a lot more tense at the end of the chapter, with like that nice spread of the 3 gold star member, or 3 gold license, not star, 3 gold license rank members of the Yozakura house. And we're going to be going now to this. We're going to be going to this. I'd be willing to bet with the next couple of chapters, we'll probably get a few in between of maybe Tayo getting prepped and maybe meeting some people. Maybe we'll get some other characters he's going to run into. I don't really know, but as of right now, I'm going to call it on that one. I'm like, there's not a lot that I really wanted to go deep into this chapter. Like, I like the stuff with, like, like, Tsubomi wants him to find out this information and probably crack some secret that maybe was what led her into the alteration between the older version of her and the current version. Where, like, exactly this is all, like, all this information is going to lead him to, and where things are going to kind of just move him along and progress, like, wherever he's at in terms of the story as things move. But anyway, other than that, comment below, thumbs up the video, friend, like button, subscribe button, check out my other videos. But than that, I appreciate it. When you are subscribed, and thank you all for listening. Bye.